Well, we talk a lot about company culture and how critical it is to get that defined and articulated while you're working on your communication culture, because they work hand in glove. In order to be an effective communicator, of course, you've got to determine exactly what your message is. And to build that culture out and define it is how you create that fulcrum. That is the basis for everything that you're going to be communicating. So we're going to talk about that company culture and how you get that accomplished. I mean, everybody's heard of vision, mission, values, right? But you might want to know, what are all the other components of a culture that I need to be working on? And that's exactly what we're going to talk about when we get back.
Welcome to the Communication Culture, where we help entrepreneurs and small businesses build transparency and accountability through effective communications. If you like this content, let's talk. Email Loy at loyedge.com or call 877-LOY-EDGE. Now, here we go.
Company culture, that sounds kind of touchy-feely. Is that really necessary? Yeah, it really is. And I'm not going to lie to you, it's easier for some people than others. In fact, it's really, really difficult for a lot of people who are, obviously if you're building a business or you're entrepreneurial at all, you know you're going to be going into uncharted territory. You're building a future that doesn't exist, essentially. So it's really important that you put forth a vision and a mission so that others can kind of understand what is this thing and where is it going. So you might need help. You might need to hook up with somebody who's better at articulating these kind of abstract things. I'd be glad to help you if you have trouble with this. Really, just give me a call or email me. But if you're good at it at all, it's helpful to do a little research on the internet about company culture or corporate culture, because you're going to see there are thousands of different takes on it. But really, essentially, you're trying to communicate your values, attitudes, and beliefs, and you're trying to give all constituents some kind of a picture of what this thing is and where it's going, how it's going to get there. And by constituents, I mean, you got shareholders or friends and family, you got customers, clients, you've got vendors, employees, I don't know who I'm leaving out, the media. Everybody needs to know as well as possible what this is. So your vision, mission, and values are critical. The vision tells you what is this thing going to be. The mission is how are we going to get it there. And the values are what are we going to be like as people, as an organization. What's it going to feel like, kind of heavy into the values, attitudes, and beliefs. You need to establish this in order to help people get some kind of definition on this. I mean, this is the only way you're going to be able to take your communication culture and use it to your advantage to inform, educate, and connect with people about your business. Got to get this done. I know it sounds hard. You got to work your way through it. It's all about editing and distilling down to the essence of what you're trying to achieve. And if you build a good communication culture, at the same time you're building your company culture, you're going to find that you can afford to be a little loftier in your descriptions. You don't have to get down to the nitty-gritty as much, because your communication culture is what will build transparency and accountability within your organization, and it's going to hold everybody to a higher standard. So your policies and procedures, instead of being a book this thick, if you build things properly and it all comes together, which it will if you get it all done and you get it done right, everybody, your policies and procedures can be as simple as it was with one client I worked with. The policies were a meritocracy. Procedures, do your best, do the right thing. That's it. Not a policies and procedures manual like this, but just a couple of brief phrases. And it worked. Why? Because the communication culture created such effective communications through the organization that anybody who wasn't living up to the standards, they were self-selecting anyway. They were going bye-bye because they wanted to go to more chaotic, greener pastures. So the beauty of this is it's a great dog whistle. It gets your message out there to everybody that you want to bring on board who shares your attitudes, values, and beliefs. They're going to look at that company culture you've built and say, that's for me. Again, if you got trouble doing this, feel free to call me or email me. I'm glad to help. And like, share, subscribe to this channel. I'll be back with a lot more on this and other topics. Thanks for joining me on the communication culture.